Hi, welcome to today's Piece of Peace. I continue to encourage you to start your day alone with your King in worship. Worship is our weapon in this season, and the battles belong to our King. So as we worship Him, there's going to be a change in the atmosphere as He battles on our behalf. Having a heart of gratitude and thankfulness can open us up to gain God's perspective, to be in agreement with Him, His perspective, His reality on earth as it is in heaven. So in the mornings, I'm trying to write out just what I'm grateful for. And there's a lot to be grateful for. I think when we've come to that edge, I was sort of speaking about this the other day, when we come to that edge of where our circumstances are difficult to walk through, and we can come to that edge of frustration and doubt and self-pity, or ruminating on things that are most difficult, and how that we could speak things out loud that aren't true, like it's always like this. When is this ever going to end? This is so hard. And we can focus on that, and that will be what we experience then. I'm learning a lot just on how our mindset can change what we end up experiencing. Because our spoken word has power to create, because we are made in the image of God. The enemy was a fallen angel. An angel is not made in the image of God, but created by God. So in that, though, they don't have the power to create. Because we're made in His image, our spoken word has a lot of power, because He spoke the universe into existence. And if we're made in His image, our spoken word has a ton of power. What we allow ourselves to think about and speak out loud will definitely direct and govern what we put our hands to in the actions, and what comes into existence in our lives. So that's why He says, take every thought captive into the obedience of God, into the obedience of Christ. Today we're going to be reading out of Our Daily Bread again, writing out gratitude to God. This week I was just like, God, I'm going to be thankful for all life circumstances, if I perceive them as beneficial or not, is because I only know in part, but God knows fully. I don't function the way He does because I'm human, and His ways are higher than mine. So I just want to trust Him. I want to trust Him. So even though things don't go the way I have asked them to, wanted them to, perceived them to, the Lord is in control. And I'm trusting in Him to bring about all that He wanted for me. And you can too. So today we're going to be coming into, I wrote out in my journal, thankfulness and gratitude. And it's not like He says, don't be anxious, but bring things to me, petition things to me with prayer and thanksgiving. So as we bring things to Him that are important to us, He loves us. We're His children. It's like listening to our kids. We want to give them the desires of their hearts. He more so than us, because we're human and He's God. But we are going to come to know a little bit more of the Father through Jesus today. So Our Daily Bread is a little pamphlet you can order online. You can download an app onto your smartphone. Today, the author of this particular devotion, titled Knowing the Father, is written by Con Campbell. So I'm going to start. We're going to be in John 14, 8 through 11, and I'm going to read to you. John 14, 8 through 11. And I'm going to start at the beginning of 14 just so that you can we'll go 1 through 11. It says, do not let your hearts be troubled. This is Jesus speaking. Trust in God, trust also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I'm going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to to the place where I am going." Thomas said to him, "Lord, we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way?" And Jesus answered him, "I am the way and the truth and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me." I'm going to repeat that last part. Jesus answered, verse 6, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." No one comes to God except through Jesus. If you really knew me, you would know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. This is what he said to Thomas. And then Philip said, "Lord, show us the Father. That will be enough for us." And Jesus answered, "Don't you know me, Philip? Don't you know me, Philip, even after I've been among you such a long time? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, 'Show us the Father'? Don't you believe that I am the Father? And don't you believe that I am in the Father and that the Father is in me? The words I say to you are not just my own. Remember, it is the Father living in me who is doing his work. Believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or at least believe on the evidence of the miracles themselves." A few things I want to address with that. Jesus stayed so close to the Father that he had the Father's mindset. His thoughts were held captive to his Father. And then his spoken words were of his Father because that's where his mindset was coming from. And I want to get back to what I was originally talking about. The God of the universe created everything with his spoken word. And he made us in his image. And I can't state enough how important it is that we watch what we speak out loud. And why? Is because the enemy is an angel, a fallen angel, and was not created in the image of God and does not have the ability to speak things into existence or to create with his words. So if he can get you as an image bearer of the living God to speak your frustrations, your fears, your angers, your anxieties out loud, then he can get those to be in existence in your life and in the lives of your children and in the lives of your friendships and the relationships that you have or the circumstances that you deal with. This is super uber important. The enemy cannot create with his word, but he can get you so full of anxiety, so full of fear, so full of anger and frustration that you will speak out loud what he wants into existence. Don't partner with the enemy. Watch your words. Keep your mindset. Stay in the presence of God so that you gain the mindset of God just like Jesus did. He was human, but he stayed in the presence of God, gained his mindset so that Jesus' spoken words were only what the Father was bringing to him through staying in his presence and having the mindset of God. And then life is spoken into creation on earth as it is in heaven. Don't get it switched. Don't partner with the enemy. This is super uber important. So as he goes on to say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. And the only way through that is to Jesus. Jesus is this bridge to our heavenly creator. And only can we be in intimate relationship with him because of what Jesus did. So it's a big blessing. So pray that God helps you stay in his presence and that you gain his mindset. That comes through when you worship. It's inevitable because when you worship, God inhabits the praises of his people. So when you worship, it's our biggest weapon. The enemy can't be around it. You gain the mindset of God because he inhabits your praises. And then you come into agreement with him. You gain his perspective, his spoken word, and his actions because we function out of what we believe. And when we are in his presence, We will believe on earth as it is in heaven, not as it is on earth. The earth is fallen, but in heaven there is beauty, and there is healing, and there is no tears, and there is no pain. Hang on to that truth. Gain that perspective and start speaking out loud on earth as it is in heaven. Get into the devotion here. Coming to know our Father, knowing the Father. Con writes, according to legend, British conductor Sir Thomas Beecham once saw a distinguished-looking woman in a hotel foyer. Believing he knew her but unable to remember her name, he paused to talk to her. As the two chatted, he vaguely recollected that she had a brother. Hoping for a clue, he asked her how her brother was doing and whether he was still working at the same job. "Oh, he's very well," she said. "He's still king." In case of mistaken identity, a case of mistaken identity can be embarrassing. Oh yeah, as it was for Sir Beecham. But at other times we may be more serious, as it was for Jesus' disciple Philip. The disciple knew Jesus, of course, but he hadn't fully appreciated who he was. He wanted Jesus to show them the Father. And Jesus responded, "Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father." As God's unique Son, Jesus reveals the Father so perfectly that to know one is to know the other. If we ever wonder what God is like in his character, personality, or concern for others, we only need to look to Jesus to find that out. Jesus' character, kindness, love, and mercy reveal God's character. And although our amazing, awesome God is beyond our complete comprehension, our complete comprehension and understanding, we have a tremendous gift in what he's revealed of himself in Jesus. Con's charge was this: how well do you know God's character? How does it match your perception of who Jesus is? And the prayer, dear God, help me to grow in my knowledge and appreciation of who you are. Practice his presence every day. Gain his mindset. Speak only his words. And put your hands to what he wants you to only. And then life will be spoken into existence on earth as it is in heaven. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.